SAW have put themselves on the precipice of a championship. They just need one more map, and it could all come to a close here on Overpass. This, if you're looking at Spirit's pool, is the biggest vulnerability. This is the glowing red eye on this Zelda boss. Just need to close it here for SAW. And, well, an early engagement here towards construction. We'll actually see very little damage done either way. Jerks is peeking in. Timing could be everything here. Magix can't zero in the shots. And now they've lost the space. They've lost this control. And they've lost the kill.
Do you know, it's safe to say for Spirit, nerves might start to play in a factor in here. A little bit of fatigue as well after a long season. They could start to crumble on a map in which they're not good on. All of these factors, all of these storylines playing towards their head. Chopper falling to 5 versus 3 as they double back towards B.
Got it. They're just trying to find some space somewhere that they might be let in towards the site. Pressure on. Jerks playing this well. Siren will get damaged, but that drops the bomb forward, and now it's all in a wonderful last one remaining. They should know where he is, and just does indeed. A wonderful kind of fight into this. Needs to try and get something, but so many bullets out from the dualies. A storm of lead. And a pistol round for SAW. They've now got their 3rd pistol round of the series so far. That certainly does help bolster your starts to have.
Yeah, one of the real key weaknesses for Spirit, I think generally as a team, they've been not that bad. I don't think there's been too many things that we look towards Spirit and say, okay, you know, this is a distinct weakness, but pistols definitely are. They're not strong. They don't really contest very easily in that sense. Little knife coming through on towards Jerks. Just a little love tap, not too bad. Of course, for Team Spirit, it's a full buy. That's a standard meta. But no bomb plot means the ability to what they can buy is pretty minimal. Magic will take a tag. And all they've got to really rock with is that Galil in the hands of Patsi. Have a lot of reliance on his shoulders to find some success, but there's an opener found with Siren's Deagle.
And here you go. All right. The force buy, yielding dividends early on. Disaster striking and SAW. I mean, they want to force this issue, but Chopper's now spotted Jerks, and yeah, he's perfectly waiting. Crosshair placement. Perfection. So even doing this, Fierce will try and force a fight. Damage would be good, both because it would give him $600. Because it'll keep a gun from going forward. 2 kills, ain't bad there. 1,200 extra smackaroos in the bank, and you keep a flawless victory away from Spirit, but that is still such a massive find early on. The force buy, you'd imagine, is going to come through here from SAW. They've shown a willingness to do this on Nuke, and yeah, they are indeed going to dive into these muddy waters, but now it gets messy.
Again, Spirit, really good at just making force buys work in their favor. Really good at kind of turning the tides at the very least. You look over to a SAW, we saw this force buy war panned out in the earlier stages of Nuke, and it was so costly towards SAW. They really struggled to get that early control, get things in their favor. Once again, we're seeing a little bit of it now. Muteris, MP9 for him, pistols alongside. Not a great buy. Definitely one in which can be made expensive, but the conversion rates on the lesser side.
Muteris, for one in that situation, he's got the big gun, so to speak. Not the biggest, quite compact actually. But you know, it's not the size of the gun. It's the placement of the crosshair, Neo.
Exactly. How you use it, as they say. Smoke come through.
Has that been your experience, Neo?
Yes, mate, of course. No, it's been the story of my life, actually. Jack of all trades, master of none. I live and die by the saying. Just like a 5.7, though. Overpowered.
Oh, yeah?
Gun needs to be nerfed.
There you go. That's your new dating app profile. Just like the 5.7, compact, but overpowered.
Exactly. It could work here. Bomb could be dropped.
Oh, it is. Siren. Just there in the right spot. Perfect placement. Insurance policy. The bodyguard for his teammate. And now this is going to be a very tough retake, right? You've got a little bit. Roman's even found an MP9, but ooh, better get working. And already spotted. They've been rumbled. They want to chase this on through, but the kill can't come their way. And taking out Jerks into heaven is going to trigger the rotate to bail out. Chopper wants to allow no bailouts, but he won't have his way.
Yeah, same, mate. I don't think they'll have any trouble. Oh, sorry to say, in fact, hang on a second. Chopper going aggro. does fill out the MP9, but Roman somehow, again, just bunny hopping his way out of danger. Second on the board to come momentarily over towards Team Spirit. Well, that was an expected conversion by Spirit. Made a little bit expensive, but still goes the way as we would have hoped. So overall, no one really needs to be overly cautious. SAW wouldn't really have come into that sort of round expecting too much to come from it. The fact that they walk away with a FAMAS and an MP9 is better than nothing. It's a double eco situation anyway. They're going to have a rough buy-in towards round number 4 regardless. So they may as well save 2 to give them some firepower, some hope of a lifeline being extended out, and once again, just keeping that team spirit economy at bay, not allowing it to get too excessive, too out of the scopes of well, their possibility and their reach. For now, though, AWP in play for Wonderful. We had so little impact with it in towards Nuke. He was a non-factor, a non-identity. He needs to find some form in towards Overpass. This series could be in jeopardy.
Sounds of Molotovs, a roasting. Seasonal songs, nice boost up there. What a punish! Oh, Chopper gets caught as well. There's no way you would expect the repeat, and now 2 guns are found in this round. This round is certainly in jeopardy. Call them Trebek, and now the fight comes through. Magix, he's blinded. Somehow isn't pressured on that. An opportunity missed perhaps for SAW. That would have been really deadly. Well, Magix still low. He's so good on it. A man advantage. Reconfirmed. Roman slipping into it fast. He's gonna find contact on Siren. Can't zero in the kill. A little over ambitious, but they're rotating. They're rotating. They'll be there to receive. No armor on these 2 players, so the placement of these bullets has to be perfection. Smoke on through, but the element of surprise has been in their favor. And now they move. Knowing that the bomb's committed, they're gonna be on the angle. Wonderful. He's forced off. The op, not favorable against these unarmored players, and he can't zero in the shot. Siren is low. This is very much in doubt. Siren, knowing that the smoke is now down, does he know they don't have kits? He should have a pretty good idea, but does he trust it? Does he trust his read? And Jerks is coming through here. They're just going to defuse right under his nose. Siren, does he have the peak? Does he have the angle? No. The round stolen away. Barely anything brought in, and SAW rock Spirit's world.
We love a forced by war, and this is what happens on the back of the story. Great individual play. Chopper, relay of information, expecting a pincer maneuver to come through, and that costs them. The second they lose the numbers advantage, who cares about your firepower? You just can't play trades, and we saw that exactly happen from Magix. Walks away with kills, but still trading, keeping things in favor of the CT side, and this is what makes SAW so formidable on Overpass, and Spirit so weak, because SAW are never down and out for the count. They are never done, no matter what they bring.
Smoke fade, here comes the test. Connector control going to be established here. Spirit not losing any casualties early on. Don't trust the X back in spawn. It's a lie. A ruse, a sham. Instead, as a minute hits the clock, we've had no bloodshed. A bit of a detente locked in, some forward positioning, but nowhere to take it. And SAW, likewise, are pretty far back towards sites. They don't have a lot of info. They've been deploying this utility just based on the timing. And it is going to apply a lot of pressure as we hit 40 seconds on the clock and Spirits start to think about a take. Molotov down. You're not getting through Monster. Not yet, at least. But here's going to come the hit. Another smoke. Oh, the timing on this. This time they have to go through. The flashbang is deadly, and they collect 2. Patience pays off for SAW, knowing exactly the moment to strike, and with 20 seconds on the clock, is this rotate even possible? Siren's approaching forward, but I think this is going to be a T-side save. I just don't think they could do anything with this, Neo.
No, they can't. I mean, what can you do from now? I mean, yes, Siren's got space, and they've got the bomb in hand, but the rotation is so readily available. Unless Siren can individually crack open that rotation, deny it coming through, nothing was going to work. And of course, the time ticks through. They just have to play saves. Siren's even so risky there in the save. I mean, there was definitely room over towards the A site which he could have fell as he went just peering over, looking to catch one in rotation. Pause come through for Team Spirit. A moment of relax and a moment to take a breather, because what has not been a great start in terms of when they've had the full buys both ways, or even against those ecos. Now we have to see how they fare up themselves once again when they go back towards a slightly hampered buy. Yes, Siren, wonderful chopper, they're fine. It's Patsi and Magix we look to, where the support they bring around it, pretty minimal. And it will be a full buy because the other three already have. So yeah, what can they bring? Galil, armor, utility lacking.
What I need to see is I need to see Wonderful activated. He was quiet
100%.
on Nuke. He was not impactful, and that's not something we're used to seeing. He's a young player, but he has been so very dynamic for them so far. And if you're going to set up a weaker buy, one way to do it is to go early for the op pick. Story has the same read. He says, you know what? They saved an op from the last round. You know what I would do? 4-man stack and peek towards heaven. Love that thought. It's not going to happen here, right? Spirit don't want to attempt it, but I love the awareness from Story to check for that exact play. Jerk's gonna have contact instead. Magic's coming into his crosshair. Ooh, there's the spot. He knows he's there, and he collects. Utility sailing out, pushes Wonderful back off. He can't do anything with that big AWP. Not yet. They are corralling him in a great way. Once again, Spirit are held at bay.
Just trying to take some tag damage as well for the smoke. They're more than happy. And this has been the story of Story as well. They're happy to play passive. Oh. We beg for Wonderful to come online, and Jerks meets him with a bullet to the cranium. What a shot, what a swing. And it continues to get worse and worse. 2 versus 4. Mike, I think, honestly, a save call's not bad here. If they could pick themselves up another rifle for Chopper, keep hold of it.
I don't know, man. At some point, you got to start dying. Let that money even out. Smooth out the top of the peanut butter jar, but Siren, he wants to cause some extra ripples. He's going to have to go back for the bomb, which is unfortunate. They could really use that toehold towards Monster. 30 seconds now on the clock. And as Roman starts to work his way in towards Connector, that's going to give them a little bit more confidence that this is, in fact, the site the hit is coming towards. Smoke out. It certainly confirms it. That's a big kill on the flank, though. Makes us a lot more comfortable. If there were a Molotov here, this would already be done. If Siren drops, it is Chopper under such pressure. He's pushed back off. He's going to slip away. 2 HP. He can't risk this. He's not got the time. He's not got the life. He's not got the chance. But does he have the big gun? Does he have that at least? At a minimum. Seems like he will.
Oh, there we go. 2 save the cross. You know, you're thinking, for Spirit, this is already starting to look pretty brutal. And unfortunately, you know, when we're calling upon the likes of your Wonderfuls to step up, when it continues to be a bit of a no-show, this will continue to get worse and worse. Orb drop back in towards his hand is okay. And well, you can make the argument that, yes, Spirit at least made it, you know, contestable to a sense. All that SAW care about is his rounds continuing to tick over on the seaside. I mentioned it before, for, you know, not statistically the most CT-sided map in the pool, not even really in consideration, the 4th most CT-sided, but it feels a lot more than that. So we got the back with Chopper going dry. What we spotted out is just on the jiggle peak, happy to play passive, happy to keep them at bay from range.
Jerks is going to double one here. And he's going to go down with only 1. They left him very isolated. Surprised he didn't have support from construction, at least. You know, being as this was an anti-eco round, for the most part. But as it is, a little cheeky boost up. With that found A4. Now it's a question of awareness for SAW. They've had... Oh, I can't do it now. He made the audio cue. No one was actually close enough to hear it, I don't think. But no, yeah, just as checking for it. They got the cue. And attempt again. Oh, wait. And just gets his. Patience pays off. Yes, the A4 drops immediately into Magic's hands. But now you've cleaned up the op. That was the big threat into the round. And with 30 seconds to go, Spirit again find themselves with just nowhere to go with this. You can't save again.
No,
Come
I
on,
know.
fellas. You gotta die. It's just not worth it.
It gets to a point. Especially Siren, right? Just fall here. They got Lost Brothers building up. He will. Had a little peek in. Bomb drop. Round done. 10 seconds. But Magix is going to keep that M4 ticking over. This was a story we spoke about.
Is it 29 or 34 at this point? I guess if it's 29, it makes sense to save the A4.
I think it's 29, right? So
Yeah, so it is actually logical.
Yeah, but you know, we had this story for the first half over towards SAW. We were saying, you know, I feel like we said we saw them save or they were getting consolation kills more than they were attempting kind of rounds, right? And of course, in that sense, it was SAW attempting retakes because they're on the CT side. It's the other side here where for Spirit, we're seeing them save and try and tick over rounds and tick over rifles more than we're seeing them give attempts now. And how many more rounds can we say this before it already gets that other question of, is this too little too late from Spirit? Bearing in mind the pressure they're up against, SAW taking the first two maps, of course, one being the map advantage, things will start to crumble. Things will start to get very on edge, especially in that second half, if they have to clamber back a massive deficit.
I've been limited in so many of these rounds, but it's been these first contact plays. Jerk showing us exactly why. Again, the flashbang is perfect. The kills are perfect. Everyone who just tried to probe in towards the site is denied. This round already feels like it's over. You've got what? Chopper with a UMP and Wonderful, who has yet to get on the board? It's desperate for SAW, or for Spirit, rather. They tried the B site once again. They've tried the B site so many of these rounds early on, and SAW have had the numbers, they've had the util, they've just rebuffed them at every turn. I'd like to see some early play towards A. I would like to see them try and work a picks on this A, because at this point, SAW have been trained to put heavy presence over towards B, and it just keeps paying dividends.
No, exactly. They've not really even had a proper sniff over towards the A side. I mean, they sent Siren a couple of rounds ago to have a little look in, but time was ticking anyway. They don't really have time to even attempt and execute over there. So, yeah, it's spot on, right? They've gone towards B. This sort of B-side simulator that they've been rocking with isn't working, and things will continue to get, well, worse and worse right now. Chopper, will he save anything? The answer's no. A flawless round for SAW. And you just can't not be impressed of how SAW are disciplining themselves. They're reading Spirit like a book, and they're not falling for these kind of sort of gimmicks and these slight kind of maybe bits of presence over towards mid or bits of presence towards connected. They're understanding that for Spirit, when their backs are against the wall, they're going to default back towards a monster push. And every single time they come up trumps. I mean, Spirit are struggling to even get kills now over towards the B side. Never mind even getting to the possibility to execute. And when was the last time we said Spirit got a bomb down? I mean, this is getting brutal now.
It really is. It really is. That was a nice team ace for SAW. Always love pointing that out. Best stat line in Counter-Strike. And what do you do, right? They've gotten the op into Wonderful's hands, actually, in quite a few rounds, and he's given them nothing. Tech-9s are out here. It's going to be the pistols. It may be a faster play, but normally you'd say faster play back in towards B would be the default, but B has just been such a graveyard for them. They're going to try it again. Seems like this is going to be the out-and-out monster push. If I had to guess, utility sails over, Molotov on. They're going to go through. Looking like they're going to go through. Here's the test. Here's the pressure. The utility's good enough from SAW to at least hold this initial foray at bay, and now stalled out a little bit. This is where the massacre starts to come through, and indeed, it's a rinse repeat of last round. It's nigh on the exact same play, but this time with lesser weaponry, and sure enough, it does not work out.
How many more cracks at this B side that they want to give it a go? How many more times are they going to try and play the same play over and over again to little avail? As we said, when was the last time we saw Spirit get a bomb plot? When was the last time we saw Spirit find that opening kill? And finally now, with every last resource exhausted, Chopper and a P250, Molotov in hand, bomb in hand, is going to attempt to look over towards the A side, and Roman with ease picked it off. This so far, aside from the couple of hiccups we've seen go in the favor of Spirit, has been a near flawless CT performance, and this is how you set yourself up for success. What a read. And I think even more on top of this as well, SAW have come in unbelievably prepped for Overpass. This was even more convincing than the last time out we saw them as well. They know exactly what they're up against and exactly what's going to come their way. Spirit, they need a pause.
I'll be honest with you, Neo, you're heaping praise upon them, but much like last map was more about SAW playing well than Spirit playing poorly, I disagree on this one. They're just gonna keep hitting monster, and I don't understand what they're seeing that makes them think that this time it might crack through. On none of these B takes, if there's really been comfort, even when there's even exchanges, it still sets up SAW with decent positions for the post plant. I mean, I'm getting nothing here. There's not a lot of creativity. There's not a lot of pressure being applied. It's very vanilla. Now we get a default. Okay, I actually like this. Go more towards a default.
but Roma wants to take the initiative, and seeing the utility sail out there, they just collect Siren. They're so comfortable on this, and they rebuff towards A. That's brilliant. The fountain play works out. Patsi gets one. Patsi gets something to add a doubt into their mind, but this was the round where SAW went soft on B. Now they need to rotate support back in, but Story's here in time with 2 players now double pushing connector, and the bomb's still back towards spawn, wary of that fountain push. They've kept this under threat. They kept Team Spirit off balance and guessing. Patsi at least gives them a chance, but it's just going to be the monster play again. Why not? On the smoke fade, they'll try it. And here with the smoke coming over, Just feels confident about this. Is there a flashbang for him? No, this time the Molotov just still gets one out of it. Patsi has to be the hero here, and Story has wrapped him around. There's no safe haven. Chopper can't even get onto the site to support, and while he will find one, he's so blind, and he is, in fact, a dead man. Their most successful round in so very long, and it still doesn't have a bomb plant. It still never really makes us think they're going to be able to convert.
Yeah, no, exactly that. Hey, I mean, better from Team Spirit, but once again, they went towards their default. They went towards what they thought is a safe haven. The B side, and it doesn't work out. As you rightfully mentioned, no bomb plant means that the economy is rough. And now, Mike, I don't know if you've ever been a fan of the Far Cry games, Far Cry 3. One of the protagonists, or the antagonist even, says, you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, and they're just expecting something to change. And this sort of feels a little bit like it.
I'm gonna blow your mind here.
Go on. Well, because I know it wasn't him who made it up.
That's not from Far Cry.
It's not from Far Cry, but of course, that's where I got it for the first time.
Do you know who the quote's from, Neo?
Is it like Gandhi?
No, it's this little guy you might have heard of.
Who is it?
Albert Einstein.
Nah, who's that?
little guy, you know, did some science, did the thing, known for being a little clever.
What was his elo though?
What was his elo? You know, I don't know what his elo was.
They're asking the big questions, right?
You know, I can't believe you just attributed that quote to Far Cry 3.
That's who I know.
What a gamer! I always thought, man, these video game writers, they've got it on point, man. Yeah,
they do, man.
Whoa, where'd they get that from?
Exactly. See, I'm a gamer talking about a game to gamers, right? I feel like I should use the gamer equivalent.
I feel like I need to put together just a reading list for you now. This just makes me want to culture you. Roman? Oh, he's about to culture somebody with bullets. Does he realize Patsi's pass, though, is the thing? Roman's able to back away and actually not even committing into this angle. Resetting a little bit. This works out very nicely. Still, they have a path towards A. This could be the first bomb plant for Team Spirit since round 4. And I think it will be, but they're losing the numbers. Defending this bomb site, it's going to be a different ask. Bomb is down. Patsi wants to take the initiative. I don't mind it here. The drop down. Oh, had the right idea. Wanted the Goomba stomp, but just outmaneuvers. Doesn't even take a lick of damage in that. Now, wow. I mean, this retake is merciless. They haven't been shot yet. All right, let Wonderful get a kill. Let Wonderful crack this Goose Egg, because this is ridiculous, and no, it can't happen. It can't happen here, Neo. He's 0-10. The Offer, who set the world on fire, has not got a kill through 11 rounds.
And, you know, for the longest time, I've been such a fanboy of Wonderful. I've sung his praises time and time again, saying he's one of the best up-and-comers in terms of the AWPing prowess and, you know, the work he did with Trasco way back when, and some of the performances he put up then when I first really got a look in at him. And now, this is just brutal. 0-10. The impact hasn't been there. His favored weapon isn't working, and anything else he tries to change up doesn't help him in any way. This has been one of the stories, and honestly, a pretty good summary of what is happening to Spirit. Nothing is working out, and Wonderful continues to just flounder in his failure. However, Magics will find the first. Not often we get to say that Magics, or generally speaking Spirit, find an opening kill.
Brings back the opener. That brings back the opener, but it's still pressure towards A. The bomb's so far back, so with these forward positions, they're still gonna have to do a lot of, just, clear your corners, just. Magix holds for it. They still can't get the numbers in their advantage until they realize they don't have the bomb. They don't seem to be aware now. Wonderful says, oopsie. Better go back for that. Very fortunate no one went for a fountain push. No one went for the adventurous play, but it is going to whittle a lot of time off this clock, and it's going to whittle down what utility they have. Patsi, though, with another kill. Makes this a little better. They certainly will contest over on the SAW side. I mean, they've got so much money. They're rich as God at this point. And actually, they are incredibly fortunate that the op's not posted on the angle. Threatening in towards Wonderful. That would be the big vulnerability. Roman brings it back to even numbers, but Wonderful finally gets a kill, and Magic follows it up. So there we go. The curse is broken. Spirit will find another round.
There's the linchpin. There's where we get to say potentially this could be the start of success coming through. This could be where Spirit, at the very least, have a bit of confidence in the latter stages of this half. Granted, either way this pans out, even if they go forwards from here on out, I still don't think Spirit will be at all satisfied or at all comfortable or happy or any of the rest, but just make it a little bit more competitive on the way out. And potentially, then things can look a little bit better. Publish up the story, won't find success, but information spotted on the cross. For Spirit, they've got room to work with. So, I don't think they need to be too nervous just yet, but they need to be careful not to allow Spirit, at the very least on the latter stages, back into it.
Ground gain here for Siren. Saying, look at all this free real estate. Trap will take some damage elsewhere, but Wonderful now making that op presence felt. The push out smoke is going to be bold. The flashbang is good, but Magix is able to get away, and that's huge. He has to stay alive, though, because he's got the bomb. And they know where he is. They know where he is. Damage on off the nade. Magic's going to force the issue, knowing that he had to. And he's caught the last as well. All right, Magix, give this man a medal. Drop behind enemy lines. Threatened, surrounded, totally isolated, and still able to hang on. And now, this is certainly looking like a fourth for Spirit. A commanding round at that.
And the last 2 rounds of success as well. They're off the back of Magic's. 2 rounds ago is his monster play, which netted them 2. And this time again, it's him who's just able to confirm a couple of kills. He's been a bit of a nuisance. With thankfully, they're changing it up. Thankfully, it's not being the case of, hey, you know, let's just try and push Monster and see if we can play contacts, play aggro and trades. Thankfully, they're at least learning from the mistakes, and leaving Magix there is a bit of a secure factor. It's working. Working well. Pause to come through for SAW. While money's not a problem, they themselves know if they allow Spirit to just be competitive on the way out, it could give them confidence onto a CT half. And a lot of sides, generally speaking, prefer the CT side of Overpass. T side can be very difficult to get under your belt. And
Certainly.
if Spirit find that confidence, then go in towards their CT side, and SAW on the flip side lose a little bit of that confidence and then go in towards their T side, it could be a crumble. So they don't want to get too ahead of themselves. They want to make sure they can just limit the success on the way out. 10-5 half, they'd be happy with that both ways. I think that would be kind of just of how this first half has panned out.
Well, I mean, when you got a player named Just, how can it be anything but? Aggression here. Wonderful. Going for these peaks. The confidence appears to have been restored here for the young operant. That's what you love to see. Not so timid here. You need to get right into that fight. Right into that action, boss. They're all about it. Oh, Magix getting a little lucky on that panel spam. It looked on. Oh, might still be, and indeed he goes down. Gutierrez thought he had the right idea, and he was absolutely correct. So now, major pressure on, losing the opening pick here. That's been one of the big change-ups for Spirit, is they had success in these first phases, and without anything but Wonderful hoping someone will wander into his crosshair, but it doesn't seem like they're going to give him the initiative. The X-Ray keeps baiting us. Ewjerkz knows his positioning, knows his placement, isn't stepping a pixel too far out of here. And it seems like this is going to be another commit in towards B. Player floating down at just the right moment. Now Ewjerkz gives the kill over. Gives the opportunity over. Resmoking some monster. This is good. Are they just going to come through? They're going to come through, it seems. Just off the angle. He's waiting for it. He's got it. So effective. Bomb dropped all onto Chopper. And Chopper sectioned off, cordoned away. There's nothing he can do about this round. 50 points of health. Time expiring on the clock. Chopper might just try and keep this alive or inflict a little bit more pain. Neither is going to be allowed to him. SAW find that double-digit round.
Well, SAW to 10. Like I said, 10-5, I think will be just both ways. They'll be kind of happy with... I mean, SAW will be happy with the performance regardless. They know they've set themselves up for so much success. And that's back to the winning ways, back to the strength of SAW, what we know they can bring to the table. The B here come through, it's the same result as it always has been. One-sided, and SAW are able to just play contact so comfortably and ready for that situation. The utility out towards that B side has really been lacking. Those supporting flashes, there's that God flash that comes over just from that deep monster position that hasn't been catching any of the monster players. They're happy just to control all of that space. But now, the damage dealt, Roman needs to be careful.
That's an opener. As you said, Roman under threat. He's down. Spirit looking for that little bit of hope here on the tail end. They've had the curse broken, right? Wonderful's been fragging. He's been getting kills the last few. They've got some rounds on the board. They're no longer in that desperate Groundhog's Day scenario where you're just hitting the same site over and over and over again and you're losing virtually the same way over and over and over again. Though still, I will say, God, they do love a monster take, don't they?
Yeah, they're big fans. They're going again. But this time with a numbers advantage. Here's the positive there.
And there's not that much utility left for the CT side is the other thing, right? You've got a Molly on Story. He's on the other side of the map. Jerks gets his head ripped, playing further back. Just in the water. They need a hero, and it's not going to be Just. Not going to be Mutiris either. Only one found, so a 1v4 for Story. Good luck on this one. Chasing on the first, and he won't even get started. Okay, 5 rounds at least. Spirit give themselves a fighting chance to have.
Yeah, 10-5, I think, you know, both sides aren't really going to complain about that, but SAW, what a setup, what a performance from them. It's been a criminal underperformance from Spirit, but a map in which they're not strong on. This could get messy in what is potentially the final half of CSGO we see in this circuit for the year, and, well, the challenger already put up to win. We're going to first on to a break. When we're back, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you afterwards.
Now, Neo, I did a little digging in the break
Go
on that quote. The definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting different result. Turns out it's probably a misattribution to Einstein, but it still doesn't originate with Far Cry 3. The earliest reference found in written text is from an article about an Alcoholics Anonymous program in 1981 in, I think, Tennessee. So a bit of an odd spot to come from, but yeah, that's apparently the first record of the quote. And this is looking like Spirit find a little bit of sanity. This time they're on the receiving end of a B-take, and they find their first pistol round win of the series.
So what you tell me, it's not Vass from Far Cry 3. My childhood's a lie, and, well, gaming, just lying to me. But thankfully, finally, a pistol round comes through. I mean, a much needed one as well for this CT side. Spirit, they need some form. They need some comfort going through in towards the second half. And now, finally, that can kickstart things. Decent money to work with. Decent buys come off the back of it. And I like the call by SAW. Not forced by Intis. No bomb plan. What's the point? They've only got 2K to work with. Play for an ecos. They have money in towards the next. And that's when they can really challenge the throne a little bit. For now, though, they are happy just to give up a 7 because they still keep quite the notable gap.
Many MP9s out, though. If I'm Spirit, I'm hoping right now that they funnel into Wonderful, and Wonderful can get a multi-kill up. Would be nice to get some confidence flowing. Obviously, it's nice to build your Opper's money up, purely, but he could use a multi-kill here. It's been few and far between for Wonderful. Late to start, late to get going, and only 3 kills on the half to speak of, so a change up to that would be a good bomb. Magix. Oh, he's got the back turn. Wonderful gets one. And a second. Why not? Pretty comfortable there. Magix, such a nice guy. He has the flank. He has them all exposed. And he says, you know what? You guys take the multi-kill.
There it is. But now we get to see kind of the full contest. Over towards the T side of Nuke for SAW. Very rarely did we see Story pick up the AWP because they didn't really need to. They were more than happy to kind of roll with the quintuple rifles. And of course, they don't have the money to do so into this round, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. Normally, we make the hindrance of, oh, well, lack of AWP in play here for Story. Will that be a little bit of a problem? I don't think so. Story was happy to rock with the AKs towards the T side on Nuke, so be more of the same here. Wonderful. We'll be tipped with a Molotov, but a little bit more of a passive approach and a decent amount of bottom connector control.
Chopper going to be under pressure. They've gotten all the way up long. This isn't checked. Chopper right around the corner. They're going to hear the pin pull on that flashbang, and I don't think he's going to get back into this corner. They knew he was here. He's dead to rights. Magix there in time. And a TK. It was actually a TK. It wasn't even Magix getting the kill. So no money reward for him, but maybe a chance to let this round. Wonderful. Certainly going to try and make it so. They're going to hit the brakes because they know they've got a player coming up connector still, and I don't know if Wonderful is aware. Jerks, yeah, gonna get that one for free. Completely catching him off guard. Leaves Siren on his lonesome. Does he want to attempt this, or does he just want to slip away into the night, keeping his rifle alive?
First time as well that we see what SAW can do on a full buy. Not too bad so far. Pretty convincing. Just, I think for him, as long as he's just ever so cautious of the final remaining player. Actually, Siren just got out of dodge. He wants nothing to do with it. Was posted up in towards bank. Smart decision is just to keep the down 4 in play. Lost bonus isn't exactly built up. Over towards that CT side, so they are more than happy just to keep 1 M4 ticking over and potentially have some sort of a buy around. I think for Magix, Patsi probably shouldn't be too much of an issue. Chopper might be down to an MP9 or something of the sort. It's Wonderful who would struggle, but hopefully for him we'll get a drop. So in the grand scheme, not that bad. I think overall for SAW though, that's an important round. Set the tone once again, delivering the pace, the tempo in their control, not playing into the play style of Team Spirit. And it once again goes back to what we were saying about SAW on Overpass, how convincing they can be. It's another great example. What's the buy? That's the thing I want to be questioning now. What is the buy coming through for Team Spirit? They have got money to work with it. While it's not convincing, they should be able to muster muster up a little bit of a buy coming through. Yeah, not too bad. Only a FAMAS for Chopper. He's taking the slight hinges out of it. The one worrying thing for me, though, Mike, that lack of utility, that could be really problematic.
Yeah, it certainly could be. Could be punishing here. They're not going to be able to stall things out if this comes in. And the first salvo already done. 2 Molotovs burned. They've got 1 remaining. Pressure coming out long. They don't want to get caught off guard here again. Last time, that was their undoing. This time, you do have a bit of a face potentially here between Roman and Patsi. He's blinded. Under pressure, but he resists the urge to pull the trigger and give away the spot. It is going to be the B take. So this deep positioning for Spirit should serve as an early warning system. If they start to see presence here towards the B site, they'll be comfortable holding the numbers. Boost up for Magix. This is cheeky. Looking for the connector player. There is no connector player to come through. And if they just rock up construction, this could be tough. This could be rough. And indeed, oh, Chopper is good to keep his teammate alive. On top of his head, Chopper is the bodyguard. And Siren chews through the takeout monster. That has been the absolute massacre site of this game so far for both sides. You go out that monster tunnel, good luck.
Wow. Both sides struggling to take monster, but that was definitive. Siren, first 2 full blind, third comes just as he comes back around, getting his vision and confirming a 3K on the board as well. They needed something special. They needed someone just to have a little bit of a step up when that take was starting to get hot and heavy. The double boost coming through as well. Thankfully stepping up for 1 as well with Chopper on a FAMAS. There was question marks around it, definitely in my mind. They make it work, and of course it's limited what SAW can do. Out of 20, nothing. No buy, couple of pistols, no armor, no util, or lack of armor for the most part. And this should be a pretty clean cut round for Team Spirit to 5-9. And realistically, when you saw in these sort of rounds, you're looking for at the very most a bomb plant. If you can find a bomb plant, that'd be nice. I like what Spirit are doing. They're just playing passive.
I kind of like it for SAW, actually. They're going to be allowed up close. You've got Wonderful here, who has struggled at times. Now the reinforcements coming in. Wonderful is going to be backed up by Chopper, and Patsi getting that first duel out towards long. That was the isolated player. You got a lot more working in your favor now. Utility's back on the scene. It was looking a little depleted. Should be okay. So the pistol's rocking through. Jerks, that's a nice shot. A little bit more, but Wonderful. Good for the cleanup, and that's great to see if you're a Spirit fan. No hesitation, no nerves there for Wonderful. Just a nice multi-kill to make sure no bomb plant comes through.
That's the important thing. For SAW, in those sort of rounds, all you're looking for is a bomb plant and someone to step up just to make sure that the economy doesn't get too out of whack or too comfortable on that C side. Now that 2 rounds in it, this is getting close. Forced to come through. You're looking at SAW, thinking for them, this is an opportunity. They need to break the deadlock. They need to break this kind of on-edge matter that we've got here. Full buy coming forward. If they can't convert it, excuse me. More or less confirms that Spirit tie this game up. They'll get up to double digits. The economy wants to get broken over towards the Portuguese side, and it means that Spirit have a free red carpet walk towards getting 11th round, making this 11th all. They have to find this one here and now. Story going to wield the AWP. We didn't see too much of that on the T side of Nuke. How will he fare up? Because he's been quiet, and that's been, unfortunately, the narrative for both sides. Both sides, the 2 of the most impactful players, they're 2 star AWPers, not really stepping up to the plate thus far.
Flashbang in. Patsi under pressure. Clears corner. They do indeed, but Patsy's still good for 1. Nice impact from a tough position. Utility has not really knitted much for SAW just yet. They went for the nade stack backside. They didn't find anyone over towards B. So they're spreading. They're looking for some sort of a kill, some sort of a guide light to show them the way. Which site they should hit, which space they should take. On Nuke, we're getting so many of those opening picks. Their decisions were often made for them. Here it has not been the case. Story wants this duel. Oh, he spots him. Eee, wonderful. Getting away with that one. On land, I think that hits. But as it is, Chopper may have found a timely moment to go for the wrap around. Is he going to catch? And how many? is the big question. No one's looking. No one's looking. He's got one. He's got two. He just gets the one and backs away. Chopper threatening as the boogeyman in their minds instead of just going for the multi-kill. He's putting the doubt. That's going to funnel them in to Magix and Wonderful. With Chopper always ready to slam the door shut behind them. He's got another kill just out for play. And this one is a non-starter. Roman, the only survivor. He knows Chopper waits for him. And Chopper comes to deliver.
That's huge. And so needed for Spirits as well, because now it opens up the pathway. Now that lifeline in this, not just a map, the series extended. This is do or die, right? They're 2 maps down. I'm thinking for Spirit, historically, not one of the more favorable maps they would want to, head to when the pressure's on. Thankfully now, a 10th collected, the money shattered for SAW, which means that they've got a really good opportunity and probably should happen that they find themselves up to 11. If this was to go the other way, though, for Team Spirit, that could be deflating. That could be kind of one of those final nails in the coffin being banged through. It will be a low buy for SAW. Just pistols to come out, bit of utility, bit of armor. Stick around that 2k mark with the back of loss bonus. They should have no problems buying in, but from a 10-5 half, only 1 round has gone in favor of SAW since. And Spirit's on the verge of tying this one up at 11 all.
Little medicine, though, for SAW. Maybe a fast Tech 9 play. We've seen them work before.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Even a bomb will be good.
Connector it is. Pressure on. Nice nade. Doesn't actually connect. Minimap lied to me. But connector is theirs. They have found the first bit of ground they wanted. Spirit feeling a little bit of a shadow on their backs. Back off towards the site. More comfortable ground. This is the way we've seen them play anti-ecos before. It's the way they're going to play it again. And they bring up the 3rd player to support this A site, having utility pressure through here. There's the spot out towards long. Patsi can't quite dial in the kill, and he'll lose his life as a result. Nice kill for Roman. An opener here. Things starting to get interesting. These pistols making their way on through. The Molotovs to slow things down, but here comes the take. Chopper knows he can't drop. Can't leave Wonderful at bay, but the rotation, the flank is huge. Magix on the scene, maximizing the bullets in his gun, and now Siren's here to follow up. It's all falling apart, this cheeky flank. All they needed, 1 gun found for just, but 2 players to find. What can you do with this? Got the AK. Facing into his own flashbang. They don't know they have the bomb, so they have to float Chopper on down. And that could lead some vulnerabilities here. Though not seeing the quick rotate, Chopper secures himself in towards heaven, so he'll be on the scene quickly. Wonderful falls back into the bank. There's actually a chance of this plant. Just merely brings it forward and commits. He knows he's got it. Got to get that C4. Got to get that C4. Don't have time to double back. He's gone too far. 15 seconds. I don't think he's going to have time for this. Got a knife out. Got to run it now. And they're going to know. So Chopper starts to float up top, having seen nothing down below. Hearing footsteps perhaps as well. This bomb may go down. But no, Wonderful isn't even interested in allowing that possibility.
Knew all too well about it. Waited, holded. He could have been aggro. He could have played towards Dice, even over towards Long as well, but he knew that if he just parks up in bank, he can find a wall bang on the default plant, and does exactly that. 11 all. Credit to SAW, though. They made that more competitive than we initially anticipated off the back of a very minimalistic buy, but look where we stand now. All tied square, and SAW, after setting themselves up for so much success on their map pick, looking a little bit frail, a little bit fragile. Over towards their T side. Only 1 round since for Spirit. That's their 6th. This is really formidable work we're starting to see from the CT side. And SAW need to break the deadlock. They need to break the cycle, or it could be brutal.
Smoke on, the hits coming through. That monster tunnels proved treacherous, but this time it works out. The opening picks are theirs too, swiftly in succession. And well, this is an interesting one because there's some money built up for Spirit, but not a ton. And if you're playing the long game here, this poke back in is risky. Chopper certainly risking it. Some support from on high at Patsi, but you can see it's a little half in, half out with that bomb now ticking away. Spirit want to go all the way down the rabbit hole. Seems like they do indeed. Up close is Chopper, and he's deleted. It's a clean sweep for SAW, and just in the nick of time, they find a flawless T-side round. This is what they needed. There's money to spread out here for Spirit, but this will be the end of the bank Neo, this next round could determine the series.
Yeah, this next round is kind of the do or die for Spirit. Full buy coming through, but it's not beautiful by any means. Patsi Siren dropping down to just an MP9. It makes you feel uncomfortable. It makes you feel awkward, and Spirit in the same boat. This is a do or die scenario. Off the back of the long-term success they've had, they needed a magician. And there he is. What a shot. That's a corker from Wonderful. That story left to watch from the sidelines.
So why are things called corkers?
I don't know where it originates from, but it's like a UK northern saying, just a corker. It means very good. Like, that's a corker. Maybe, I guess, popping a cork is a good thing. You do it in celebration.
Excellent or astonishing person or thing. All right. Give me... Where does it come from?
I don't know where it originates from, but I assume something to do with popping a cork, because it's like, that's a good thing, and, you know, I don't know. Something along those lines. But it's generally, in England, used by northerners.
Good to know. Good to know. Patsi. Getting a corker of a kill here. A second, a follow-up, a multi-kill. Why not? The MP9 and the USP, all he needs to bring through this round and all but secure it. Tie it up in a knot. Roman trying to find some damage at the very least, but he can't apply any pressure on the Spirit. So this is the valve opening up. All that steam released. Spirit can breathe a sigh of relief, and Patsi is the one to give it to him.
Oh, they needed it. Oh my, desperately needed it. For them, that was a do or die factor. They could have been the final nail in the coffin, to be perfectly honest, if they were to fall flat there. Thankfully for them, it's not the case. We live to see another day. We can see another storyline just like we saw towards Nuke, where we go the full 30 in regulation, maybe even further. These two sides, what an even matchup it's been the entirety of this season. They have been at the absolute top, and Magic stepping up. Great short water control. He stays alive too.
Jerks. That's a big kill. That keeps this realm in the round of possibility. This round in the realm of possibility. You know, one of those things. Keep the pressure up here towards B. That's a big duel. Neither side conclusive. Roman can't find it. Patsi likewise. But it puts the doubt in their mind. They can't go for a rotation. They can't stack a sight knowing that there's a player potentially out towards long. Potentially facing in. They'll still risk it. Dumping the utility. Chopper pushing forward. He calls for Patsi to start to back away. So he'll be able to assist the lower site quickly if called upon. Awkwardly, Jerks has all of the util, and he's not really set up to throw it, right? He's the player pushing towards construction. With all those flashbangs, he can't put them in a good place for his team. 40 seconds. Spirit stacked up on the right side. Chopper controlling the rotation through connector. It's all going to be about this contact. And Wonderful, he's good for the first, but he can't keep his teammate up. Still, finding more kills, finding more damage. Chopper getting activated, coming down, and that's a massive kill to find through, all on the story. 20 seconds with which to do it. Bomb at least available to him. That'll be retrieved. Patsi slipping into the angle. We'll put this one away and put Spirit in the lead.
My gosh, this game is starting to heat up. I thought with Wonderful's miss, it might have cracked open the site. A step up coming through. It's all off the back of an opening kill once again. Numbers advantage played for the CT side has netted them a 13th. And all they had to continue to do was play that trade game. Pop shot coming through. The missed flash as well. Not catching the pillar player. This game continues to impress. Continues to be so good to watch. So they need to climb back out of their rut they're having on their C-side. T-side Nuke was some of their best work. And we're not seeing it anymore at all. Overpass, they are significantly struggling. This time though, short water control, and it's not costly.
Double it up. The flash is going to need to be good. They're playing anti-flash on it, and the hold is brilliant. Siren, once again, coming up. Much the better for it. He's living up to his name, right? They keep getting lured into the rocks that is the monster take, and he keeps gashing them upon it. Making a meal of these poor sailors. The bomb, at least retrievable with that smoke still up, but doing anything with it, that's the true test, the true ask. A minute on the clock, and SAW watching their chances to put this series away on a favorable map slip on by. They're going to go through Monster again. Good luck on this one. Playing on the smoke fade, everybody here. Magix gets the tip off. Well, okay, Multikill making something of this. Chopper still on the angle. No way he expects a third. Chopper trying to peek around. The flashbang is good. And the execution even better.
Lovely stuff. 2 rounds ahead, we saw this exact scoreline, but in reverse. Over towards Nuke in favor of SAW. 14-12. And then, of course, they started off 16-14. And this one seems to be panning out in a somewhat similar fashion right now. SAW are struggling. They're getting no control, no success over towards their T side. They've picked up 2 rounds since the halfway point. Where we are now, I mean, you gotta say, this is already starting in my eyes to potentially pan out towards the next map. We could be looking and, you know, diverting our attention towards a Vertigo. This is not looking comfortable. It's not looking pretty. Vertigo is the pick, of course, of Spirit. We know exactly how good they can be over there. Wow. For now, this is one of the most important attacks we're going to see called. For SAW, what's the decision? What did I do? Did I force buy in with not the most fantastic economy to work with, which will limit in terms of if they want to pick up AKs, armor, utility, or do they go for a lesser buy? And they're going to go for the most part, a lesser buy, apart from a hero Galil from Materials. Yes, they've got loss bonus built up, but even still, not exactly the easiest one to make work, and maybe overzealous as well to assume that Galil's going to find any success.
Connector fully gained. Just okay. A ripper of a shot. He's slain the monster of the tunnel. Siren. Dude has been a thorn in their side, and that's going to trigger a mass rotation. This could actually be quite bad. Chopper's just spotted an ankle. Oh, they're not committing around it. They're not committing around it. They had the space, but Chopper sees them backing out, so he's not going to call for his teammates either. Just going to secure that this space is theirs, and now Spirit, they're reinforced in the proper site for this hit to come through. Nice shot from Wonderful. The first one already found. They're trying to bring pressure, but Magix secures the tunnel. And Patsi is next to falter. It's all in a Magix, and he's got the spray down. A moment there for SAW. An opportunity. A space allowed towards A, but they do not capitalize. And Chopper, he's aware of everything.
I think potentially this one may be dead on the water. Of course, I know that was a low buy. That B site for both sides has been a graveyard. No one finding success. No one making it look easy. For SAW, this is their last chance. They're playing for 15. They're playing for overtime. They would need some magic to get there. So far on the other side, it's been Magix who's been stepping up and so consistently finding problems. This time Patsi only good for one. Quick trade.
Next kill could be the map. SAW are going to go towards the soft site. There's a path towards long. You remember that was one of their first round conversions. It was just shifting 2 players up long. They haven't really gone back to it. At least not in a long time. With the up for Wonderful, they haven't wanted to test him here. And good measure. After an abysmal first half, he has recovered handily. But this is exactly the place they will come to try and find one critical round. Meanwhile, Chopper, he's gone on an adventure. Chopper is pushed all the way through Con. Now he gets confirmation on that, so he'll come to flank towards A, so they need to get a move on. If they wait too long, this could be disastrous. Wonderful. Missing an opportunity, but he's good enough. Brings down Just. Support is there, and that's going to be it. Spirit, find Overpass. We're getting a series here, Neo. We're headed to Vertigo.
On a map in which Spirit notoriously are that strong on, they have found a new lease of life. So I think they'll know more than anybody, more than us, more than the viewers. They'll know themselves about how rough that T-side was and how they let a bit of a prime opportunity to go flawless.